Today we're going to look at just a little bit more practice of simplifying square roots, and sometimes we're just simplifying square roots, and other times we have imaginary numbers in there. So you need to remember, for example, on this first problem, that there's the square root of a negative number. And when we have the square root of a negative, we need to take that out first. So this is going to be the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 75. Well, the square root of negative 1 is I. And then we look at the square root of 75. So I'm going to pick 5 times 15. You could have picked 3 times 25. It's not going to make any difference, because what we're doing is we're going to rewrite these so that we have a product of prime numbers. And I just broke down 15 into 5 times 3. So what we have here, if I write this a little bit better here, is that this is I times 5 times 5 times 3. And what we're looking for then is we're looking for 2 of the same value to take out 1. So we're going to take out a 5. We already have an I outside of the square root, and then we're left with this single 3 that remains underneath the square root. Now, what to notice here on A is that there's a negative underneath the square root. That is different from the negative on letter B, because that negative 3 is on the outside of the square root. So all that we're doing in this particular case is we are breaking down the square root of 12. Better said, the square root of 112. So if we start here, there's lots of options. I'm going to do 4 times 28, and then 4 is 2 times 2. 28 is 4 times 7, and then 4 is 2 times 2. So if I streamline this a little bit, so I'm going to carry down that 2, carry down that 2, and carry down the 7. We have it written a little bit better. And what we're looking for is we're looking for 2 of the same value to take out 1. So there's a 2. We took it out. We're done with those 2's. 2 of the same value, take out 1. We're going to take out another 2. We still have a single 7 that's left underneath the square root. And don't forget that 2 times the square root of 7 is what the square root of 112 equals, but we had a negative 3 outside of the square root to start. So when we finish this problem, we're going to multiply. Negative 3 times 2 times 2, which is negative 12, square root of 7. Letter C, when we take a look at this one, when we're dealing with a fraction, we need to deal with the square root of 7, and we need to deal with the square root of 36. The nice part on this particular problem is that the square root of 7's a prime number. We can't do anything with that anymore. But we can take the square root of 36. If you need to, you make your factor tree. And I know that we could break down 6 more, but really what we're looking for is we're looking for 2 of the same value to take out 1. So we're going to take out a 6, and we're done with the 6's. 36 is a perfect square. It's 6 times 6, and there is our answer for letter C.